excited about on this coming up panel, right up following Les Brown, is a panel of goddesses,
Mhm.
women who talk about the feminine power, like how do we balance, disruption and distraction and inspiration with the feminine power. And that with that is Dagmar Fleming's panel, the Athena Circle. So Dagmar, how excited are you for bringing up your ladies?
Well, we are so thrilled. It is actually second time that we are joining this leadership conversation. And, we are living in a time of such a tremendous change and uncertainty that naturally the question arises, how do we lead? How do we inspire others during those times? And the question of the female essence and female leadership at the times where we're shifting from patriarchal systems into more balanced structures is something that's really coming to the forefront. So I am so excited to bring the Athenas to these conversations and to just dive in. What does the leadership for women look like in 2024 and beyond?
Perfect. I can't wait. So Donna and I are going to come down and we'll give you
Yeah.
the full stage to bring them up.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so
On to
much.
you, Dagmar.
All right. So, welcome, ladies, for coming to this amazing opportunity to join in on the conversation. For all of our viewers, we would love to make it super interactive. So please comment away as we redefine female leadership in 21st century. But first, I would like to introduce amazing Athenas that are joining me here today. So just tell us who you are. What is your passion? Alma, we're going to start with you.
Hello, Dagmar. Thank you, Ava, for having us back. My name is Alma Tarelli, and it is my passion and mission in this life to help entrepreneurs succeed in their financial goals by reaching abundance and everything that they desire in their own life.
Wonderful. And Debbie, how about you?
I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I focus on mind, body, and soul. So I help leaders be healthier and have a better mindset.
Wonderful. And welcome, Homa. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes, I'm Homa Ahmed, and I'm a multi-sector entrepreneur, and I love bringing beauty into people's environments and lives.
Excellent. So we're named after Athena, Greek goddess, who represents this amazing drive for passion, for following our dreams, but also stepping into authenticity of who we are and showing unapologetically with our unique qualities, and then most importantly, fulfilling that big overall soul purpose that we all are here to embody. So as the Athena Circle community, we try to develop the leadership skills within us and model those to the communities that we are here to impact. Tell me, what do you feel Athena represents to you, and why would this ancient Greek goddess be relevant in 2024? So we're going to start with Debbie.
Well, I feel that Athena is wise and a strong protector of her community. And when I went to Greece, I saw the Athena eye everywhere. And to me, the eye of Athena is just representing a protection of their community. She's overseeing them. And like Dagmar said, I love this community. We are leaders and we share ideas, and also it becomes like a mastermind for everybody. And I do take these ideas back to my community and share them as well. And that's the purpose of a leader, is to grow and share ideas. And one thing that John Maxwell said is growth inside fuels growth outside. So when we share to our community, it makes our communities prosper.
Oh, so beautiful, Debbie. I would add that if you have ever heard about Greek mythology, that you know how respectable and how powerful is Athena as goddess. But even if you didn't hear about Greek mythology, you'd learn today, and hopefully you'll embrace and explore what this goddess represents. Goddess Athena represents the goddess of war for truth and devotion. She represents the goddess that bringing souls back home by fulfilling their soul journey. In her journey that she helped Odyssey, that's what she does and represent, bringing souls to their fulfillment in this life. In our community, in our Athena Circle, we are different experts, different women from different backgrounds. We get together and we uplift, we collaborate with each other, we share ideas, and we live from our highest potential. The four fundamental cores of our Athena Circle are divine sovereignty, respect, divine soul purpose, and building a community with inclusion. And we take these values and we carry in our life, in our daily life. I am a mother. I always try to give a space to my kids because I respect them in their soul journey. As a professional, I take my clients' interest in my heart, and I care about the business as if it was my own business. So my invitation is to everyone, please explore what does this group does and what does this goddess represent.
Wonderful, spoken like a true goddess. Homa, what about you? What is it about Athena that you really love and embody?
Well, what I love about Athena, the goddess Athena, is that she encourages us to be authentic in who we are, and that is the piece of her that resonated with me the most. And what I love about our circle is that we all get to show up as ourselves, not anybody else, not copying anybody else. And I love that as I learned that in the Athena Circle, I also get to work with my mentors and the people that I lead to make sure that we all show up authentically as ourselves, being the best of ourselves and not trying to be somebody else. So that's what Athena kind of represents for me.
Well, thank you, ladies. So let's build on that. As you all know, we recently hosted an event called Awaken the Divine Feminine. And we focused on shedding the light how many women over time have adapted to the patriarchal systems that we were living with by adopting more masculine way of expressing ourselves. And this was our way of surviving and thriving within the structures that were set up by men. Let's face it, historically, this has been a continuous structure. So it was really eye-opening during that event that a significant number of women admitted that, whether knowingly or not, we would ride our lives on the frequency that's masculine up to 70-80%, discounting to we can say extend our own female power and the inherent qualities that we have of empathy, emotional intelligence, tolerance, compassion. So how do we reclaim that female essence, and how do we redefine a leadership in this time of transition when women are coming back and trying to step into that unique power that we represent? What does female leadership in 2024 and beyond looks like to you? So let's get this started with Homa.
Yes, as a matter of fact, thank you, Dagmar, for mentioning that event, because that is when I personally realized that, coming from a corporate background in my career, that I felt it necessary to embody at least 50% of my energy, the male energy, because it to me represented action, decision making, etc. But then I discovered through that session that really we as women, and by embodying the divine feminine, we actually have all that we need, and that we are powerful enough as we are. And I've been fortunate over the last 21 years to be mentored by women leaders who actually embody what that is like, and I'm learning from them. So it's really about servant leadership. It's about compassion. It's about really making the people that you lead feel important and that they matter. And these are uniquely things that women bring to the table and our feminine energy brings. So I think the more that we embody that, especially in 2024 and beyond, that becomes the best way to lead. And that is what people are actually looking for in organizations.
I just love the comment from Barbie that we women have within us all that we need to lead. So, Alma, what is your perspective on how we can step into that innate power that we as women possess?
To me, the leadership, the female leadership, is an embrace of these two energies, mother energy and a queen energy. And I am saying this symbolically. Why mother energy? Because mother energy is caring, is a nurturer, is a compassionate. The leadership of a female leadership looks like a success based on relationships, not necessarily productivity. So a mother takes care about everyone. This is the mother energy. The queen energy steps in where she takes care about everyone else, but also herself, because generation after generations, we as mothers tend to put ourselves last. So the queen energy steps in, and then she says, I take care about everyone, but I also take care about myself also. She trespasses every challenge, every harassment, every pay gap, any gender bias that has been so far. She trespasses and she steps into her power, and she leads with conviction because she knows that she's able to create and produce. She actually produced from non-existent to existent, bringing a baby to the world. That's how powerful she is. And by leading in her power, she brings female leadership and also male leadership in one. She co-creates and softens the edges. So the female leadership look like, I serve by being authentically me. I serve to my world, to my country, to my family, to myself by being authentically and unapologetic me, by being me, unapologetically me. That's what I meant.
And I loved what you two were talking about, because female leadership, we need to think about creativity and how we can move out of the box. And there's a lot of female leaders, even in the past, that have had those qualities of the male and the female. For instance, Rear Admiral Grace Hopper was a innovator in where she actually helped design UNIVAC, the first digital computer. Also, she also was the first to create a compiling program, and she was part of a team that innovated COBOL, which is the first programming language. So she actually was the mother of computer programming. And there's other people out there who, like mothers, like Robin O'Brien, who was a food advocate that brought in reform because her children have food allergies, making them aware of the additives and stuff and other toxins in our diets. So when we take a unique approach to see a problem in our society, we can look at it at a woman's perspective, but also bring in other elements. And in 2024, I'm looking forward to creative, innovative leaders that will broaden and upgrade our world.
Beautifully said, Debbie. Thank you so much, and all of you. So let's focus on what are the challenges of stepping into that female essence. I came from a very male-dominated corporate environment where naturally emotions, intuition, perhaps would not be necessarily appreciated in a very logical environment. And how many of women ever heard that you're too emotional, right? So how do we embrace the unique gifts that each woman possesses, and many men, of course, such as emotional intelligence, that intuitive insight, being able to connect to other people and build teams in a nurturing fashion without being perhaps perceived as weak or as showing up in that super soft nature in those power structures. So what are these challenges associated with stepping out of the masculine frequency and embodying the female safety and female thriving frequency. Alma, would you like to get us started?
Sure. I believe that most of the challenge that we have today, it is only because of the male leadership dominance that was till today. So we are aware of the challenges, the pay gap that I mentioned, the sexism, the gender bias, the lack of support, the poor communication between these two worlds for women, being a mother and an entrepreneur. It is quite challenging to balance these two. And so being aware is the first step to creating a safe environment for a woman. And we dwell in our emotional intelligence. So combining together emotional intelligence with the IQ, that's what makes to soften the edges that are going on today in the world. And again, I want to emphasize the fact that we are aware of everything that happened, the gender gap, the pay gap. Women are paid less. This is a fact. And the harassment that has been going on in the world today. So we are aware, but the awareness is the first step. The support that women need and female leadership need is the second. And the third one, the co-creation between both leaderships.
And I totally I agree with Alma and Debbie. One of the challenges that I find that women find is that they don't believe in themselves, that they can be leaders. And I always remind them that you already are a leader. You're a leader in your home, just like Alma said. There's so many balls that women juggle as moms, as sisters, as wives, members of their community. So you're already leaders in your home. You're already leaders in your communities, your faith groups, etc. Just bring that into the work environment and you can have the confidence. And just following up on Debbie's thought about women have more natural intuitive creativity. Well, one word I would like to use is vulnerability. And that's one thing that we need to really cultivate as women, our innate vulnerability, because you cannot be creative or put something creative up front to change the world or the environment without being vulnerable. And so that is a gift that women can share with their male colleagues, and we can definitely move the needle on that front. And so the challenges that we think that are holding us back are actually can be assets and gifts that move us forward as leaders. And that is something that I have seen in powerful women leaders as well. I hope that kind of adds to the conversation.
Well, another idea I have is that women actually have a powerful empathy, being able to sense what people need and address their issues. That empathy will help people release their emotions so they can actually thrive and be able to move forward in their life and be more productive in the workplace. In doing so, they can actually get people out of an emotional, turmoil, so they'll be more successful in their life. So empathy is a really strong skill for a female leader in 2024, because if we can tune into somebody and stop an argument from happening, that is very beneficial.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this conversation. It is very timely. And I want to take it up a notch and talk about spiritual leadership. It is not a term that you hear often, but I believe we're reaching the time where the consciousness of this planet is rising to the point where we realize that there is a bigger soul purpose for every single human being on this planet. And whether you're just a shoe repair entrepreneur or a motivational speaker, we all have our own unique way to show up and fulfill that purpose. And every single human being has unique fingerprints. There's a reason for that, because it's showing that there is no other human being like you in this moment to deliver on that bigger life purpose. So, what does leading with purpose looks like for you? Is it okay these days to say, I am a business badass woman who's succeeding in all aspects of professional career, but I'm also a fully integrated spiritual human being that has my connection to the source? And as Athena Circle embodies, we have this full tolerance towards all expressions of religious and faith beliefs, because your spirituality is unique to you. And in a world where we seem to fight over whose interpretation of spirituality or religion is correct, it is so important that we come together, and instead of fighting over the correct version, we ask just this question: what am I here to bring to the world through my unique expression of my spirit? So, Hom, I'm gonna bring you back to lead this conversation.
Yes, so going back to what I feel Athena represents, which is true authenticity and self expression, there is no way to really be truly authentic unless you also express yourself through your spiritual authenticity. And through my life experience, I realized that there is no way to really be yourself than to be connected to your higher self, whatever that looks like for you. So I start every day with meditation to make sure it's kind of like plugging myself in like a cell phone to the source and recharging. So you cannot give from an empty cup. It is important to constantly fill your own cup, whether it's spiritually or through community, whatever that may be. So spiritual leadership comes from a place where you're truly one with your higher self and your belief system, and that you show up that way authentically, not trying to be a chameleon or copy somebody else again. And by expressing yourself truly, then you actually are your most powerful self. And that is, to me, what spiritual authenticity means, is by putting that as a priority in your life, and then it trickles down to everything else that you do, including your business or your family or your community and all of the above.
Well, I completely agree with Homa regarding tying into your true essence, because my spiritual guide is my true essence and it's my intuition. Women need to use their intuition and really pay attention to it, because there's going to be times that you're not going to feel right when something happens in your life and you want to reassess and seek a different path. You know, whether you are stuck in some emotional turmoil, you know, the low vibrations of doubt, fear, and frustration can bring you down with energy. And it's important to recognize it, release it, and move on, because it brings in opportunities. So I love to foster gratitude and also have faith, because things always happen for a reason. And when it comes to, you know, trusting ourselves and having intuition, it makes us more a powerful leader as a female presence in the workplace.
Wow, thank you, Debbie, for sharing this. I would want to add this. We have so many leaders in the world today, but to be a spiritual leader is a totally different level. And every leader should ask the question, am I being a CEO? And not CEO in classical sense, chief executive and so on, but CEO is an acronym, in my opinion, about C for commitment to success, E for evolving, and O, owing your personal power. Commitment to success, the first one, the first letter C, is being committed to success not only to your personal life, but also to your professional life. Personal life has three aspects: mental, physical, and spiritual. The mastery over these three aspects makes us leader to succeed in our relationships, in our environment, in our business, and also in self-development. And by taking care of ourselves, that's how we take care of other people. Evolving It is impossible to be a spiritual leader if you are not evolving with technology. I know Homa is fond of the technology and AI. We are shifting the paradigms here. And it's impossible for a leader to be spiritual leader if you are not evolving, if you are not embracing the change that is going across the world. And the last one, owning personal power. In the old paradigm, personal power meant exercising control over people. In the new paradigm, owning personal power means leading through your spirit and empowering every single person that surrounds you. That is what a spiritual leader is. Ask the question, are you a CEO in your business and in your personal life? You cannot be successful in the business and not be a great parent, or the other way around. And so this is an invitation. So everyone ask the question, a spiritual leader does not need to take anything from this world. The spiritual leader has so much, is full of potential, and has only to give out. And that's where we should aim to stand. We have to give so much, and we have to make this world a much better place than what we found in the end.
Very true.
Well, thank you so much for that, Alma. I do want to build on that because part of this embodiment of higher consciousness that we all try to model is the fact that through communities, we can elevate one another. And it's really the power of leadership, bringing people who are like-minded and helping us build each other one up. But let's face it, the world is very polarized right now. And we had a moment where when we invited a transgender woman to be part of the Athena Circle, which created a bit of a commotion, to say the least, as we had women or one woman that was vehemently opposed to that inclusion. And by the way, this chapter in our history of the Athena Circle is described in the Moral Compass book, which I had the pleasure to contribute to Mo Rock's Moral Compass. So I want to talk a little bit about this idea of tolerance and how embracing other people's viewpoints, their concepts and qualities can allow us to grow together, because in diversity there is power. And yet the external environment is constantly projecting to us this fight over who's in charge and who knows it best. So how do you feel about this fundamental value that the Athena Circle represents and honors, and that is the genuine respect for every human being to show up in their unique expression, to simply be who they are, without pressure to conform, without need to please the tribe, and literally just asking the internal question, well, what do I want my life to look like? And can I be surrounded by other people that will honor me for the way I am, for the unique qualities that I bring to this life, and how I want my life to unfold?
Well, I think with tolerance, it's really important that we don't judge people. You know, they want to live a life that they have. They want to, be happy in this world. And if we're putting too much judgment out there, it's not going to do you any service. And, with our world constantly changing, it's really important to not let the world affect us emotionally as well, because what's happening in our outside influence cannot influence us as well. We need to live in a world where we all get along. And that's what I believe.
One thing that just resonated with me as you were speaking, Dagmar, was that I feel spiritual leadership and spiritual energy is the language of love. And I just got goosebumps when you were talking, because I feel that I have this deep love for all of humanity and every uniqueness of the person. Everybody was here to be uniquely themselves. They're not here to be a copy of somebody else. Otherwise, God would not have taken the time to create you or put you in this world. So I get really passionate about this because we have to respect everybody's uniqueness and love them as divine love. And we are nobody to judge. And as we allow people and they feel loved, they actually show up as their authentic self and they contribute. And we will be missing on so much intelligence, creativity, contribution if we did not listen to and include every single person. So as we love everybody and we're compassionate for everybody, it really doesn't matter how they uniquely decide to show up because they're still valued.
It's so wonderful what you're sharing, Homa and Debbie. In our circle, that's what we do. We embrace all expression of feminine energy across ages, races, culture, political, religious view, etc. In my opinion, if you are in a spiritual journey, it is impossible to judge and disrespect others because that's what spirit does and reflects. You come in this world to live your highest purpose. It doesn't know no colors. So once you're in a spiritual journey, once you become a spiritual leader, and I would like to invite everyone to look at this seriously and say that my soul, my divine soul, respect every divine soul in this world. That is the only way we can change the world. If we lead by the ego, it is me, 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 we are not going to go too far. And that's why we are in this mess, for that matter. Once we embrace this, my soul in me respect every single soul in this world, we are in the right track.
Wonderful. And that's what namaste means, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
The God
And I
in you sees
tell
the
that
God
I'm
in
a
you.
yoga teacher also, I could tell right away.
Yes. Well, wonderful, ladies. I really appreciate joining me on this conversation. It is, again, something that we as women have to come together and ask ourselves what will be our role in the ever-changing environment and consciousness, and how we will show up in our feminine power. Because again, it's not about fighting against masculine expression. We love the divine masculine. In fact, in the Athena Circle, we had unique two masculine members that joined to balance and create this balanced approach to redefining leadership. But it is also important for us as women to ask these deep questions. Who will I be if I let go of all that masculine energy that I have been adapting to and adopting over the eons of times? What if I just let it go? And I had such a privilege to ask this question of Masadi during the first day of the LA Leadership Summit. And his response was the frequency of safety and success and leadership is neither masculine or feminine. It's time that we just adopt it for the qualities that we
Yeah.
want to exhibit without the underlying essence of polarization into masculine or feminine expression. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here. I hope we stirred up some ideas, and thank you to our viewers who are joining in with their comments. We look forward to reading them and continuing this conversation going, especially because this Leadership Summit will transition into more masculine expression with all heavyweight champions that are joining us later today. So I can't wait to see what their idea of masculine power will be.
I just wanted to say again, thank you, Ava and Donna, for having us. And also a great big thank you and appreciation to Dagmar and on behalf of all Athenas. Thank you for having us on this stage. And thank you, Morok, for having crystal clear your purpose in this life to inspire leaders.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.
Well, it's such delight to have the Athena Circle be represented in LA Leadership Week, and the conversation of um, how do we be in our feminine energy and not have to try to measure up or try to be more like masculine. So it's very nurturing for me. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having us.